All right, we are recording. Hi, Miss Molly. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
That's awesome. I'm so great and glad that you are able to join us this way today. We're going to start by, I'm going to ask you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself as well as what you write.
Well, I'm a Christian writer, and my books have a little bit of mystery going through them.
Hmm.
Um, but I love to write, and I've my books basically are the series that I've published is based in New Orleans in the French Quarter,
They are.
and my late husband and I used to spend a lot of time there. So I've got a lot of history behind it.
That's awesome. I was going to ask if you had any history in the French Quarter. I've never been to New Orleans, so that's awesome that you kind of honor his memory in that way.
Yes, it's a really unique place, and
I'll,
it
I'll have to
it's very inspiring, very inspiring.
I'm sure. So when you were younger, did you know that you were going to be a writer?
Not really.
Okay. It's just
I
something
didn't
that you go ahead.
I, I didn't start writing until after my husband died,
Oh, goodness. When did he
and
die,
I
if you don't mind my asking?
in '97,
So it's been about 18 years? No,
well, about 22.
22. You're right. Wow, I'm bad at math.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So what literary pilgrimages have you gone on? Like, have you gone any cool places to be inspired to write? Obviously the French Quarter in New Orleans, but anywhere else?
um, for 14 years, I was a Stephen minister with my church,
Hmm.
and we would go on retreats in Subiaco
Oh my gosh. Beautiful place.
and at the monastery.
Hmm.
And it was a really good place to reflect and come up with inspiration for different books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to link Subiaco to this chat because it's definitely a lot of people haven't heard of it. I actually didn't hear of it until a few months ago, and it's gorgeous. My cousins live about 30 minutes away from it, and they go there a lot just for day trips.
Yes.
That's really
Yes.
cool.
It's a beautiful place.
It is. So, Miss Molly, do you find that writing energizes or exhausts you?
Energizes.
Energizes.
Yes,
So you like
definitely.
definitely. What is ever, if there is any, your kryptonite if you're writing?
Spelling and grammar.
Oh my gosh, same, same. I'm so
I'm
glad that you say that.
I'm the worst speller on earth. In fact, the computer can't even figure out what I'm trying to spell.
Well, thank God for the computer then. That's funny. Do you believe in writer's block, I should say?
I've never experienced writer's block.
You haven't? You've got
No.
everything planned in your mind. That's awesome. What about reader's block?
And yeah, I have that more than I do the writer's block.
I have that too. For about a year after college, I couldn't read for fun. Um, and I'm just now actually getting back to that point where I can read for fun. So I definitely understand that frustration with
Right.
reading. Is there a specific trigger that you find it? Like, is it when you're writing that you have reader's block?
I
Or
think so. I think that's more because I'm tuned into what I'm doing. So it's kind of hard to switch. An interesting fact, though,
Mhm.
after my husband died, I hated to go home at night. We had our own business. And so I stopped at the store one night on our date night, which was a Friday night, and I picked up the first book that Nicholas Sparks wrote,
Which one
and
is
it was
that? Do you
called
remember the
The
title?
Notebook.
The Notebook, yeah.
Yes. And I took it home and I read it that night, and the very next morning I started writing.
Oh my goodness. So a little bit of Nicholas Sparks. You owe a little bit
Yes.
to him.
It inspired me because I thought, I can do this. I can do this. And I have written over 20 books.
You've not published all of them, have you?
No.
Okay, because you've got 4 published now, and they're all in a series, right? The Leslie
Yes.
Rue mysteries, and then you've got The
I have,
standalone that you're working on right now.
yes.
The red letter N?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Red Lady Inn
The Red Lady Inn, the Red Lady. That's right. That's right.
takes place in Eureka Springs.
Oh my gosh, beautiful part of the state.
Hmm.
Do you base any of your characters upon real people? Do you find that your friends help you kind of create these characters that you bring to life?
There's a lot of influence. You know, I'm 81 years old, so
You are
I've
not.
met a
The picture
lot
you
of
sent me, you don't
people.
look 81. Good for you.
Thank you. I have a lot of people that I've based some of my characters on, but in the French Quarter, in fact, I I put an acknowledgement in my last book that the last paragraph of the acknowledgement says, I want to thank natives of New Orleans and especially the locals in the French Quarter
Yeah,
for fueling my imagination as I entertain my readers in this series of the Leslie LaRue mysteries, because those people really influenced me.
that's awesome. Were they like shop people or people that you met? Like, kind of, what was the process there?
Yes, people that came from all over the United States would
Hmm.
settle in there. They would go for vacations or something and then go back and sell everything they owned and go and open a shop in the French Quarter.
That's awesome.
And we met a lot of those locals.
Hmm. That's really cool. Is that kind of the same process that you used to select names of your characters too?
Well, I have 4 daughters,
Hmm.
and selecting names was always a fun thing to do.
That's true.
So yeah, I enjoy just coming up with names, and usually it fits the character.
Yeah, that's cool. What is, in your opinion, the most difficult part of writing a book, of the process of writing a book?
I think it's time.
Yeah.
Basically, just having the time to do it because my mind is always going 90 miles an hour, my imagination, but I don't always have time to work on it.
Hmm. Do you often find yourself like scribbling notes and like ideas for characters? Like, do you have a book that you carry around to kind of keep all of that together?
At
With your,
night, when I have a notebook or a notepad by my bed,
hmm.
and if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can jot down something that I've just thought of.
Yeah.
And sometimes first thing in the morning when I wake up, I'll come up with an idea. I
Hmm.
don't know if it came from dreams or what, but I will put it on that notepad.
That's cool. So you kind of keep everything organized there,
Yes,
all your ideas. How long on average does it take you to write one of your books?
anywhere from weeks to months. Um, the writing part is not the hard part.
Hmm.
The the part that I find very difficult is getting it edited, getting the cover done, getting all the process of getting it to the printer.
Yeah,
So writing it to me is the easy part
the
because
publishing of this.
I could just sit and write forever.
Yeah, so the publishing is the hardest part for you.
Right.
Which publisher are you affiliated with? I forgot.
Well, I'm self-published.
You're self-published. Okay.
Hmm.
So do you edit yourself and take it to the printer,
No.
or you ask people to edit?
Yes, my daughter edits it, and she designs the covers.
That's cool. So there's a little bit of family connection there that it's at least your daughter. I assume that it would really be difficult to talk to a stranger to get your ideas out there too.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
You're fine. I'm sure it would be difficult to kind of talk with a stranger about that process because you would have to be more vulnerable, but at least it's your daughter, your own blood,
Yes,
that you can get it out
yes.
there.
And
Um,
my daughters are the ones that convinced me eventually my daughters and my friends, my close
mhm,
friends, to start publishing these books.
that's awesome. How long was that gap between when you started writing and when you published your first book?
I've only been publishing over the last few years.
The last like 2 or 3?
Hmm.
But you've been writing for 20?
Yes.
That's awesome. We're going to switch gears a little bit. What was the first experience you had where you learned that language had power?
I think a lot of that is, first of all, raising children.
Yeah.
And my husband and I owned our own business for many years. And I was a typesetter at one time.
Gosh, at a printing?
Yes, we had a printing company, a commercial printing company. And so a language, I used to write copy.
Oh, that's fun. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So language is kind of your background, and publishing too. So you've kind of navigated those waters already.
Right.
So it's almost like you were destined to become a writer. Would you say that, Miss Molly?
Oh, I think so. I think so.
What did you think? So I'm going to ask this question. If you didn't write, what do you think you would do today if you weren't a writer?
Well, I also teach fitness classes.
You're a fitness. What fitness do you do?
We do stretching and flexing fitness I do it at church.
That's cool. So kind of
And
like yoga?
yeah, a little bit like yoga.
Cool.
And also music. I love music.
Are you a vocalist or a pianist?
I play the piano at the nursing homes
Mm-hmm.
and the assisted livings. And I sing in the church choir.
You're a busy woman.
Busy.
Busy. All right. As a writer, what would you choose as your like spirit animal or your mascot? If you
An
had to choose
owl.
one. An
An
owl.
owl.
I would agree with that after this conversation with you. I think that's
Wisdom.
wisdom. A little bit of mystery too.
Yes.
All right. And I have one final question. What does literary success look like for you?
That my friends and my family enjoy reading my books.
Oh, so you do it for them.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, Miss Molly, I have really enjoyed this interview. I hope you have too.
I have.
I will put a link to where our patrons can buy your books in the bio for this video. I hope you have a great day, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you for
Molly.
the opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. Bye.
Bye.